Blood of the Righteous, Part 11, from Nimrod to now. From Nimrod to Pharaoh to Nebuchadnezzar to King Herod, from many others until now, the spirit of the Antichrist has resided in many figures over time. The recurring theme expressed in this series is that there is nothing new under the sun. What has been shall be again. Let's show where the spirit of the Antichrist has been, the characteristics, traits, and the principles which follow him, which ultimately end at where he shall be again for the final time. Genesis chapter 10, verses 8 through 12. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Akkad, and Calneh, and the land of Shinar. Out of that land went forth Ashur, and buildeth Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth, and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah, the same is a great city. Genesis 11:4. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. Here we have a mighty central figure who builds cities and erects a tower which reaches in the heaven and where God is. Exodus chapter 1, verses 9, 11, and 14. And he said unto his people, Behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Verse 11 says, Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Verse 14, And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All their service, wherein they made them serve, was with rigor. So here we see another ruling figure, a figure who puts God's people in bondage, holds them captive, and oppresses them, and makes them build treasure cities. This is the Pharaoh of Egypt. Isaiah chapter 14. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. Put this with Revelation chapter 18, verses 16 through 18. And saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? So in Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4, king of Babylon. This is speaking to a future central figure who oppresses God's people, servants, captives, and has a city of gold. Daniel chapter 3, verse 1. Nebuchadnezzar the king made an image of gold, whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. This speaks of a king who makes a 90-foot by 9-foot golden idol image and tries to force God's people to worship it with the penalty of death if they don't. Daniel chapter 11. Verse 38, But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things. This speaks to a future ruler who will honor a God with silver and gold, precious stones, and pleasant things. To recap, we have centralized figures, Nimrod, Pharaoh, King Nebuchadnezzar, and a future ruler, golden cities, golden images, erecting towers, pressing God's people, putting into bondage, putting into servitude, and holds people captive, Forced idol worship, likes to build cities. Nothing new is under the sun.